Oh, we have got an exciting project today. I am going to sit here right now. So I have got a big Twitter thread to make. There's around 20 tweets for the Stoic Empire that I've got to visualize. I thought to get me in the zone to actually finish doing the tweets, I'm going to sit here from beginning to end and make them, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I've been doing them. I'm guessing this is going to take me about 60 minutes. So this is just going to be a chilled out session. I'm going to start some music up. There we go. This is just going to be a chilled out session. I'm going to sit here visualizing these tweets, and you can watch me do it and listen to how I'm doing it. I'd usually do these live, but I wasn't really feeling the live thing today, so it's just going to be me and you. This is pre-recorded. So this is where I'm at with the thread so far. The thread is for the Stoic Empire, and the thread is called How to Avoid Wasting Your Life. I've already done the intro thread, the image, and then I've started doing a few of the other ones. For this thread, and for when I do multiple images for any kind of thread, I try to create some kind of running theme throughout all of the tweets. And for this one, I'm kind of feeling lines and graphs and things like that. So the first couple of tweets that I've already done, they've been graphs, and I'm gonna follow on with that theme, I think. This next one that I've just got to is a calm mind, a loving family, and a dream to chase. These things renew humanity. So for this one, I've already kind of got an idea, and I'm going to use the noun project because I'm trying to be quick with this. The noun project is a great tool to use if you need to do things quickly. Let me just turn my voice up a bit. If you need to do these quickly, if you need to create illustrations quickly, the noun project is a great option because I think it's about $60 a year or something, but they give you thousands, I mean it might even be millions now, of images and illustrations that you can use, and they're all vectors. So what I would have normally done is just drawn a heart, but really the majority of hearts, they all look the same, right? So there's not really much point in me wasting time and making this video last even longer by drawing some kind of heart. So all I'm going to do for this one is align a heart. And then for the final side of it, I was thinking about just drawing like a circular thingy, circular arrow thing. So I'm just going to jump in here and do that. Cool little tip in Figma here for this, by the way. And by the way, I'm using Figma, is when you hover over and click on a circle, you get this arc button. You click on it, it kind of turns it into this pie thing, which makes it a bit easier to draw a circle. Not 100% easier, because you'll see what I'm going to do in a minute. Now I need to delete this line in the middle, then just draw an end on it. Oh, this song's a bit faster than I hoped. Kind of the chilled out vibes we're going to be tonight. Yeah, so I'm just thinking something like that. I just want to show like something going around. A dream to chase, basically. Something going around in a circle. Cool, I'm happy with that one. So let's move on to the next one. Success tests humility. Failure tests mastery. That's an interesting one, that one, isn't it? So what I'm going to do with this, because there's two parts to this phrase, I'm going to do something with the first part and something with the second part. And I think I'm going to go for this again because, like I said, the theme that's running through these is lines and graphs. So I'm going to go humility like this and mastery over here. So I'm going to skip this song. I don't like this song. Let's play the next one. There we go. That's a bit more chilled out vibes, isn't it? Yeah, so I want to show success in some kind of some kind of way. And then the idea of mastery. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this from here. And I'm going to put this on here like this, like the other visual that I've already done. And then I am going to put this on here and show kind of, I tend to call these comparison visuals or transformation visuals. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the kind of mastery going up and down, basically. So let's add extra to that line like this. So that's the kind of thing I want to show, but I want to join that line up as well. So to do that, I need to drop this line a bit down further. There we go. Yeah, I really enjoyed doing these kind of cool, chilled out sessions on YouTube. And like I said, I usually do these live, but I haven't done one in a while. And that's because I've been kind of absent from YouTube. I've been doing my podcasts. My podcast gets uploaded to YouTube, but it's not really the same as sitting down with the intention of creating something for YouTube. I find, I don't know, it's just slightly different. So it's quite cool to be back and actually making stuff on YouTube again. These kind of videos, these hour-long videos of me just making stuff, they're different to kind of, you know, the normal kind of YouTube video that I'd make. But this is the kind of thing you can have on in the background, or if you want to see my process or things like that. So this next one is, if you want to be happy, teach your brain to see the truth in every situation. So there's a couple of things in this that I'm always looking at, and I think if you remember, if you've seen any of my live streams before, if you've seen any of my visuals on Obvious, I love the smile. So I use smiles in pretty much everything that I do. And because this is about being happy, I think I'm probably going to use some kind of smile in this. So if you want to teach your brain, if you want to be happy, teach your brain to see the truth in every situation. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep this super simple. I'm going to write truth on the side here. Something like this. And I'm just going to have this happy smile as the arrow that points to it. I do this kind of visual a lot. The smiley arrow. It's even the face, the logo for Daily Visual. But I still think it's quite powerful. And yeah, I think that's done. An underrated lesson. It's hard to be angry with the world when you're not angry with yourself. I think we could probably use this same principle again here. So this is going to be some kind of comparison, some kind of transformation visual. And what we're going to show is somebody being angry with the world and angry with yourself. I'm just trying to I'm trying to talk and think about this at the same time, which is not easy. So it's hard to be angry with the world when you're not angry with yourself. Let me just think for a second. So what is this really saying? Now I've got to, because I'm struggling with a visual for this one, I've got to kind of think about this in first principles and break the quote down. So it's talking about anger, it's talking about the world, and it's talking about you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show this again. I'm going to draw the world, but it's just going to be a circle, nothing special. Angry with yourself. It's hard to be angry with the world when you're not angry with yourself. Yeah, so I'm going to use the same thing again. I'm going to put you here. You and the world here. Like this. Let's link them up. And I'm starting to think here that maybe I could use the same visual over and over. You know, the smiley face thing to mean different things in certain situations. I like to use these, if I'm going to use them again, use them one more time. Let's have a look. A secret to life. So this one is a secret to life. Give without the expectation of a reward, and you will receive the true prize. Give without the expectation of a reward, and you will receive the true prize. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line again. And I'm going to do a comparison, like a transformation type visual, but a little bit different than last time. So I'm going to actually embed this into the arrow. I do actually like doing these kind of visuals sometimes, but I don't do them as much anymore. But they're quite cool when you've got the actual quote embedded in it. And then I'm going to have this linking up like this. And I'm going to show the true prize, which is going to be a medal of some kind. So we'll have circle like this, and then we'll have some ribbons coming off the bottom. It's always so difficult to come up with ideas like this on the spot and also sit here and explain to you the reason I've come up with the idea and also make it at the same time. And it's I kind of wanted to call myself brave then, but in some ways it is quite brave too, because here you can see very clearly that a lot of the time the ideas that I'm coming up with, that it isn't coherent, right? I'm sat here making these ideas, and they just pop into my head. And the reason they pop into my head so easily is obviously because I've been doing this for a really long time, for a lot of years. So these ideas pop into my head really easily. But there isn't a rhyme or reason to these ideas a lot of the time, and it's hard for me to sit here and explain how I got to the idea. It's just, I'm on autopilot, really. That's the problem with creativity a lot of the time, especially with design, especially when you've been doing it for so long. The ideas come to you in a flash, and often the idea is in my head. The idea is in my head before I even draw it down on a piece of paper. So when somebody starts talking to me about a logo project or anything else like that, I've often already... Let me switch this song, it's annoying me. I don't want speaking. There we go. When somebody's speaking to me about a logo project, I often, by the end of the first conversation, I'll very clearly be able to see the logo that I'm going to produce. And so that's often hard for me to go back and then retrospectively explain that, because the idea coming to my head so quickly is just a product of practice. So often a lot of the explaining that I'm doing even here on this YouTube video is kind of backwards explaining an instinct, which is strange. Anyway, so this next tweet is: giving is ancient wealth, consumption is modern poverty. So I think I've just had an idea for this one. I'm gonna play with the dollar symbol. I'm gonna see if we can do something with the dollar sign. So consumption is modern poverty. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah. So I've got something to go with this. So I need the dollar sign to be separated out for me to be able to do this. So I'm gonna just draw a line through this, like this, and put an arrow on the top, showing the fact that giving things is kind of ancient wealth, like this. In fact, should I just make it? Yeah, I think I'm gonna make it just look like this. So we need it a bit thicker. And what I'm doing here is a comparison type visual, if you're curious. They're one of my favorite kind of visuals, because I think what I'm always trying to do with a visual, and this isn't me just thinking up on the spot and talking crap, what I'm always trying to do with visuals is tell a story. And really, communication in general, in generalities, is about telling stories. And a kind of comparison visual is and a transformation visual, where the visual moves from the left through to something else on the right. It's a way for me to show a story. It's a way for me to tell a story. And stories are so powerful in humanity. We connect deeply to stories. Design is no different. So what I'm often trying to do with any of these is tell I've got an itchy nose, is tell a story. So giving is ancient wealth, consumption is modern poverty. So I am going to extend this line here so you can clearly see that this has come from a path, something like that, down here like this. I want to get across the idea that this has come like down a river or something. Yeah, like that. It's not quite perfect yet, but it's getting there. We've got lyrics again. Let's get rid of these lyrics. Just can't quite get that to look right. I'm wanting it to look like a river, but it's kind of looking a bit more like a line or a piece of thread or something. That idea still works, I think, for this, and I think people would still understand that. It wasn't the initial idea I was going for, but yeah, that kind of works. Yeah, so I'm going to go for that. And then this next one is going to be like this. Now this is a risky one. What I'm trying to do with this here is risky. And there's always a risky visual that I try to put into these kind of things. So what I'm trying to do there is saying minus dollars is poverty. I don't know whether people are going to get that, really, looking at that, but yeah, I like that. I like it because it's bold, it's big, and it's interesting. There's something weird going on in the visual. So yeah, that one is done. So the next one, take a drink. Smart people take personal responsibility. Dumb people take things personally. I love that, and I know exactly where I'm going to go with this. So we're going to have a circle. And this is going to show a smart person, and they're taking personal responsibility. And what that means is they are both projecting outwards like this and also projecting inwards. So they'll take personal responsibility for things like this. Let me just duplicate that and spin it around. So they'll take personal responsibility like this. And what I'm going to do, I've kind of got a little bit of a funny idea for this one. And then what I'm going to do for dumb people is that these are going to be stuck inside them. So this is just going to be stuck inside them like this. They're kind of weird angles. But I need to make it clear that it's stuck inside them. How am I going to make it clear that it's stuck inside them? No, I think that's all right. That's clear. What I'm tempted to do, though, bring these together a bit, like this. And I'm gonna actually write underneath them. No, I was gonna write dumb person, smart person underneath, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep that like that. Harsh truth: no amount of external validation will ever fix. So that means ever fix. No amount of external validation will ever fix your desire for internal gratification. This is similar to the other one again, and I love it when a thread like this, when a visual knocks into another visual, and you can kind of get this. Not only are you telling a story with the words, you're actually telling a story through the visuals too, because they're progressing, or they're flowing into each other, or they're intersecting. That's when I really get excited about doing these kind of projects. So because we're talking about internal gratification and external validation and things like that, I'm going to use the circle again. I'm going to use the circle and the arrows because it works perfectly. So no amount of external validation will ever fix your desire for internal gratification. So I'm going to use a similar kind of visual. But what we're going to do with this is I'm just going to separate this out. It's a bit hard to see my keyboard at the minute with the bloody great mic in front of it. So put this here like this. And then center that. Duplicate. And we are going to spin this around again. So, drink again. This is external. Wow, excuse me. This is external validation that we're showing here. And this won't fix your desire for internal gratification. Honestly, I think that's probably enough. I don't have to say anything more for that. I'm going to leave it at that. News, politics, and gossip corrupt the ability to foster peace of mind. Actually, just before we get to that, I just want to mention something about this. So, you're probably looking at this, and maybe even the last visual and some of the other ones, and thinking, Craig, they don't show exactly what the thread is. There's a couple of reasons for that. I'm not trying to visualize the entire quotation. For one, that's impossible. That's really difficult to do, and I'd be sat here hours doing that. The other thing is that I want to make the visual somewhat attached to the quotation and the text of the tweet, but I also want to give it room for somebody to kind of put their own meaning and understanding on it. So these visuals will never be clearly, obviously connected to the tweet. They're just kind of loosely connected. And the reason for that ultimately is because I want the viewer to look at the tweet and the visual and make their own connection between them, solve their own little puzzle. I talk about this all the time, about how your visuals should be simple puzzles for somebody to solve. This is that game that I'm playing here, a simple puzzle. So the next one is news, politics, and gossip corrupt the ability to foster peace of mind. They certainly do, my friend. So how do we show this? News, politics, and gossip. They corrupt the ability to foster peace of mind. I'm trying to think of a well-known symbol for politics or gossip or news. What's a well-known symbol for one of those? Because I've kind of got a clear vision in my mind of what I'm going to do, but I can't. I'm going to use a circle again, and the circle is going to be the person. But I'm struggling to think of a symbol that I could use to show what happens when you are consuming them. But I'll begin with the thing that I want to show first. So I'm going to show something melting, essentially, over the top of a circle. Ooh, this song's nice. Got kind of a futuristic Stevie Wonder kind of vibe to this. And then I'm going to have it dripping down. Can't find my P key. There we go. So this is going to be dripping down like this. And what I'm basically trying to do is like show this melting. Show this horrible kind of like news, basically, this horrible thing that we all consume too much of, kind of melting over somebody's mind. And I'm purposefully showing it in black because it is something that, especially right now with like coronavirus and all the kind of weird things that's happening in the world, it just isn't fun or good for you to be sitting and watching the news all day. I know when the whole coronavirus thing first hit, I was obsessed with watching those figures. I kept seeing the daily coronavirus figures going up and up and up, and they were quite scary to watch, and it was the news that was presenting them to me. If I would have never watched the news, which I don't now, I wouldn't have even known that they existed. I wouldn't have even known that anybody was tracking those figures. And then as soon as I started to realise that I didn't need to know how many people were either suffering or dying from coronavirus every day, I felt a lot better about that. And that's why I think this particular tweet here that Stoic Empire has written is really important. You can't consume news, politics and gossip all day long and expect yourself to be healthy in any kind of way. You can't expect you to have, as he puts it in this tweet, peace of mind, because those things are like toxic for your brain to be sat there consuming. Wow, I've gone pretty deep on this. Yeah, that, you know, like I said, this is a light thing. You can put this on in the background. We'll just chill. And I'm sat here talking about news and how it corrupts your mind and all those things. Sorry. I'll shut up now and we'll enjoy this song instead. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to, although I'm kind of struggling with this, I'm trying to make this particular visual look like something melting, and that I'm still, all the time I'm doing this and all the time I'm talking to you, I'm still trying to figure out the thing that it's going to be dripping, that's going to be dripping on top of it. I still haven't figured that out yet. I think it's probably going to be something like a Twitter logo or a Facebook logo or something like that. I think they will show what I want to show. I think I just need a couple more. I'm just going to delete this because I've got an idea. I just need a couple more of these blurbs. That's what I'm calling them. Blurbs. Just because it sounds blurb. It sounds nice when I say it through this mic. I just need a few more of these melty blurbs. And then we will move on. I'm just going to draw multiple ones at the same time to just get this done quicker. This is what I should have done in the first place. Oh, this song's got nice lyrics. Oh no, don't swear. It means I'm going to have to say that this is an explicit bloody video. Oh, that's not black. I am going to skip this song. There we go. There we go. We're kind of getting somewhere with it now. I'm going to delete this. Delete all these because they look crap. And I'm just going to do the same again on this side. Just like this. Just like that. For anybody watching this, by the way, just like that is a thing that a British I guess you'd call him a comedian, a British comedian called Tommy Cooper used to say a lot. Just like that. Just like that. He was a magician, and his shtick was to make it look like he was really bad at magic. And his whole act hinged on everybody believing that he was really bad at the thing that he was trying to show you he was bad at. But really, he was actually a very talented magician, and he was a very talented showman. But his whole act was to show you how bad he was at everything that he did. Fascinating. That's what I'm doing here. I'm doing a Tommy Cooper. I'm showing you how bad I am at everything. There we go. That is... Yeah, there we go. We're getting there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put the Facebook logo in the middle of this. So I've got a font installed on here called Font Awesome. Oh yes, it's circular as well. That's perfect. So, and it just allows you to do what I just did there. Just type out Facebook and it shows you it as a font. I'm not happy with this side. I'm not happy with the way that this is linking up, so there's always a point in one of these live streamy type things that I do where I get obsessed with a little detail that nobody apart from me is going to care about. So right now I'm not happy with kind of how fat this side is. It's not really symmetrical. I'm really happy with this side. I think it looks really cool, but this side is just a bit crap. So I'm just going to redraw this quickly. Yeah, like I said, this is the kind of things that nobody cares about whatsoever. But as a designer, you know, the devil is absolutely in the detail. You would hire somebody like me to provide the detail that you don't care about. So it's a really important point that I deliver that detail. Still looking a bit thin, so let's thicken that up a bit. There we go. Oh God, just give me instrumental songs. I'm not getting the things that I want here. There we go. Give that a try. Cool. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, so next, there's a lot to this one. We're only at 13 and we've got 24. We've got bloody loads left to do. How long we've been going? We've been going about half an hour, I think, now. So let's carry on. Quick drink. Material wealth is overrated. Mental wealth is underrated. Paycheck slavery is overrated. Freedom is underrated. Mindless activity is overrated. Peace of mind is underrated. Okay, I get the idea with this. So I'm going to do a comparison kind of thing again, like, you know, this story thing where I have one thing on the left, another thing on the right, and I'm going to focus on material wealth and mental wealth because I think they're kind of similar. But I need a symbol. As I had a symbol previously, I call them visual metaphors. I need a symbol to illustrate material wealth and mental wealth. And I want the symbol to be the same for both. In fact, I'm gonna resort to the bar chart. I'm gonna do another chart thing because I'm really digging the charts at the minute. So what we're gonna do is this kind of thing. We're gonna do this. So this is gonna be how you are. And the other one is going to be how you should be. And I'm not going to say what that means, other than telling you here that the left one is material wealth and the right one is mental health. I'm not going to put on there what it means. As I said before, I'm going to let people attach their own meaning to that one of what that means. Oh, in fact, I might do your pride. Priorities. I'm liking the word priorities. I wonder if that works. No, I'm going to leave it at that for now. Okay. So generosity and empathy come naturally once you realize your self-unimportance. Generosity and empathy come naturally once you realize your self-unimportance. I wonder if I can use these again. So, I'm going to use a graph. Another graph, because I'm enjoying using the graphs on this. Oops. Yep. I'm going to make this a bit bigger because we're going to put something on the x-axis. We're going to put something on the x-axis and something on the right on the y-axis. Ah, come on, group together, man. There we go. So we're going to have empathy. So we're going to put empathy along the right-hand side, along the left-hand side. And we're going to have your, and we're going to have your importance down the bottom. So what this needs to be is it needs to be the flip of what this actually is. Let me think about this a second. Empathy needs to be high when your importance is low. So how do we show that? So basically, this wants to be low down here. Empathy wants to be high. So yeah, it wants to be the other way around. So when importance is low, empathy is high. Yep, got it. Yep, that'll do. Next, if you are enraged by a fool, who is the fool? I like that one. So I'm going to draw. I'm going to use question marks and I'm going to just go to noun project because I want to just quickly look at what a jester looks like, just to remind myself. Yeah, so a jester might look like this, for example, and I'm going to use a question mark. To basically look like a jester. And I don't know yet if this idea is going to work, but let's try it. So we'll go there, we'll flip it, go here. And then stand that up straight to go in the middle. Does that idea work? I'm not so sure. I fear that may be a little too abstract. But having said that, some of them are okay to be abstract, as long as most of them are kind of easily understood. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that because I like the subtlety of the jester thing in there. I like the question marks thing in there. And yeah, no, I like that. The other option I'm thinking is that, is there some way... I have got a better idea. So I'm going to do full like this. Super simple idea. Angry eyes. Like this. Just going to turn the full thing into eyes. That's it. Yeah. That's a much simpler and better idea. I love it when you get those ideas like that and they just come to you in a second. And that second is so special because that second could have probably never happened in any other time other than when I'm sitting here and just thinking about it. And if I was to sit here and think about it and record this YouTube video again, I probably wouldn't come up with that same idea. Perfect. So this next one is intelligent people disagree and remain friends. Fools are offended with everything that doesn't match their set of opinions. Intelligent people want the truth. Fools want their opinions validated. Ooh, this is a deep one, man. Oh, I'm running out of water. And I've still got 8 tweets to go. Oh my god. So let's have a look at this. Let's break this one down. So we've got intelligent people and fools. That's really what this tweet is going into. We've got intelligent people disagreeing and remaining friends. And we've got fools being offended. I think I really want to get like I really want to get a punctuation type thing in here. And I think I know how I'm going to do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 people like this. These are intelligent people. They have a disagreement and they remain friends. And then the other one next to it are fools who get offended by everything. And the difference between these two are going to be that these are stood up and they're exclamation marks and they're offended. But I need to make sure these line up, so there we go. Put that there. That's not what I want to do. There we go. So reminding me a little bit of Metal Gear Solid, this. You know that noise? Bring! Whenever you get caught by the guards. Bring! So put that in the middle there, like that. Put this one in the middle here. So I'm using my grid here to line these up. So this side is 3 columns wide. This side's 3 columns wide. That's very abstract. I don't know if people will get it, but I like it. Exercise to exercise, not to update your peer group on your ability to function as a human being. Eat healthily for health, not to update your Instagram. Read books to build wisdom, not to signal sophistication on social media. Like Thomas J. Bevan. Thomas is not going to watch this video, by the way. He's definitely not going to have got about 40 minutes into it. So I can slag him off all I want in the middle of this video. I'm just checking how warm my camera's getting whilst we're recording live on here. Okay, so exercise to exercise, not to update your peer group. Eat healthily for health, not to update your Instagram. I'm wondering, so the Instagram logo, let's get the Instagram logo up with my font awesome plugin. So the Instagram logo actually kind of looks like a plate of food. So what I'm going to do is just edit this slightly. And I'm going to make this bigger. Take it out of the middle. Make it bigger. Why has that not worked how I wanted it to? Let me skip this track. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna just have to punch that out for a second. This is the problem with working live in Figma, or really, you know, any app like this. When something goes wrong, and I've got to figure out how to fix this live, it can be difficult for me to do, because I'm often just winging it and trying to work out what's gone wrong in the first place. Right, so that's going to be a plate. That's going to be a plate of food. How can I show food on there? Especially because the plate's so small. Let's have a look quickly in the noun project, see if I can find steak or simplified steak that will fit on the plate. Yeah, something like that. Let's have a look, see if that works. Does it work if it's made smaller? Let's have a look. Nah, it kind of doesn't. Okay, I know what I need to do. So this needs to get bigger on the plate like this. And it needs a stroke. On the outside, it needs to be white. It needs to be... No, it's just not going to work. That is not going to work in this instance. I'm going to draw... Got an idea. So let me just copy some text from the other one. I'm going to draw a flow chart. I love myself a little flow chart. Or could I be funny with this? I know. Things you should do. Things you should. Things you should share on Instagram. Let's have a bit of a dig at Instagram. At Instagram's expense. Let's have a bit of a fun with that. So, things you should do. Spell exercise right. Exercise. Eat healthy. Read books. Let's space those out a little bit. I need to figure out a way to make them look different to the text that is underneath. Let's put some arrows between it. Should work. I'm gonna leave it at that. So the funny element of this is that on the left it says things you should do. On the right it says things you should share on Instagram, and it is 0. I don't know whether he's gonna like that one, but we'll see. If you can unlearn that which is no longer true without regret, wow, I can't say regard. We can tell it's getting late. If you can unlearn that which is no longer true without regard for your ego, opinions or beliefs, you are intelligent. Okay, so I am going to do a flow chart this time, I think. So I'm going to do like this. Take this. Is it still? God. True. So that's going to be the beginning of the flow chart, like this. And I'm not actually going to put anything on the, any actions on the flowchart. I'm actually just going to make a yes or no. And again, let people fill in the blanks. So, move these over here like this. Put that there. Duplicate and put the other one over here. So yeah, all I'm going to do is just do that. Because that is an important, thing for us all to be doing. Sorry, I'm just checking my stand goal on my Apple Watch. I need to stand. Oh no. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna move it around because this should be flipped. Flowcharts like this tend to go up rather than down like that. It looks like the yes and no is being asked. It looks like yes and no is the beginning rather than the end when it was like the way that it was just then. So I just want to make sure that this is quite clear for people to understand and what we're actually trying to say and show. So that's quite important that that looks right. Actually, you know what? No. I preferred the drama of the way that it looked before. Yep, cool. It's staying like that. Next, remind yourself, each day I will hear the truth without taking offense. This is definitely another one of the ones that I want to do like this one. I'm going to do one like this. So, I will hear the truth. And I'm going to visualize the truth with just with like a diamond shape, I think. I think that feels right for the truth. Without taking offense. So I'm going to show this like this, like kind of scattergun arrows coming off it that look spiky or offensive in some way. Put that down there. So it's all the same. That's 52. That is 52. I'm going to put another line in between two. If I can get the line to look right. Might actually have to put another line in here as well. Oh, I know how I'm going to do this now. I'm going to do it where it looks like it's firing a load of things off all over the place, like arrows, like things firing into you or something. Like this. And then I'm going to show a line. And these are firing into the wall like this. And in this wall are all the embedded arrows of offense. Like this. I like that. Without taking offense. I think I just want to simplify this a little bit though. Because there's just one too many arrows going on. We want it to look, still aesthetically pleasing, as I would say in a posh client meeting. So we're going to do it like that. Yeah, that's a bit better. Cool. Yeah, I like that. The hallmark of failure is wishing failure upon others. I like that. So I'm going to draw a circle. Super simple, this one. And we're going to have the circle on the side here in the middle. And what we're going to do is have lines going over here, volleying things over to the other person. Triangle arrow, and we're gonna have a dash on here like this. And I'm gonna try and do the same for this one as well. We're gonna try and make this look like quite nice and aesthetically pleasing, as is always the goal with these kind of visuals. 87. I'm just making sure that the lines match. What I really want these to look like on this one is like kind of almost evil tentacles going out towards somebody else. That's kind of damaging, like damaging somebody else almost. Yeah, like that. That looks kind of evil. Keep that small as I did before. Next one. I deserve to make a living by doing what I love. Say this every day, then make yourself worthy of it. I'm trying to think of a way to do this that looks cool. What I really want to do is draw a heart, or in fact, I'd use the same heart again. Let's have a look. Where's the heart that we had before? I want to use the same heart again. So we're going to put this here. I deserve to make a living. And what I'm going to do is have this down at the bottom. And I'm going to show this as an arrow. And this is going to be the bottom of the heart. And I'm going to cut the bottom of the heart off. So there. There. I don't know whether this is going to look right, but let's see. By doing what I love. There's definitely going to be some spelling mistakes in these visuals that I've done here, I think. I wonder if I can just make that bigger. Yeah. So if I make that bigger, you can fill the white space with your eyes. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Nice and simple and clean. Okay, so we are getting close to the end. 2 more. You never learn to be humble. You learn, which in turn makes you humble. I really, really like that. How can I visualize that? So you never learn to be humble. You learn, which in turn makes you humble. So I'm going to do one of the hallmarks of my style of visuals. We're going to type the word humble, and we are going to make the word humble out of the word learn. These are always quite hard to do, really, because especially with a word that's this long, I like making them out of the word rather than just rather than just like stacking. I'm not looking for stacking. Rather than like making it look fake. So what I want to do with this is basically work out a way where I can make the words humble out of the word learn. But I like to do it usually like this, where I'm actually stacking the real word. It doesn't always work very easily, this, but I think it's probably going to work quite well for this one. So let's have a look. So I think we've been going an hour now. I'm surprised I've got through all these, to be honest. There's been quite a lot to work out. And it's not the easiest for me to sit here and talk you through these at the same time as me trying to make the visuals, which I'm sure you can appreciate, especially when I've done no prep. Sometimes if I was to do one of the live streams, I'd do some prep beforehand, and the prep really manifests itself in a way that I'll sit and look at the words and the visuals and read the tweet thread and things like that. So I'm at least kind of a little bit prepared for what's going to happen, next. On this one, I'm being 100% honest here. I've not done any preparation. I read, and I often kind of prefer to do them this way. I read the tweets for the first time whilst I was recording this video, and I think that often gets the best reaction out of me, because I'm experiencing the tweet in exactly the same way as somebody would be experiencing it for the first time when they read the Twitter thread. And the reason I do that is when making these visuals, I'm always trying to come up with the thing that first comes into my head. And the reason I do that is because usually the first idea that comes into my head is probably going to be the best idea, especially when it comes to making a visual that's got to be easily understood in a second. So I do it that way so you can easily understand the visuals that I'm making very, very quickly. I'm going to struggle with the M here, I think. Let me just see what that's looking like. Yeah, you can tell that that's that. I'm going to take the easy way out here. Do the other side as well first. This is the side of design that you don't ever see, right? You don't see somebody sat here kind of like moving pixels around. And this is what always makes design, I was going to call this a tutorial, and it's not really a tutorial. This is what makes watching somebody design things dull as ditch water, because you're watching me literally move pixels around It isn't exciting. But having said that, this is also the kind of thing that some people appreciate seeing, because you don't ever get to see how designers actually make things. Largely because it's very dull. That's why you don't get to see it being made. But yeah, I like to do these every now and again, because you do actually get to see me sat here doodling stuff, basically, which is often quite interesting. I always enjoy watching these. I always enjoy watching other designers do these. It's why when I did my podcast with Leslie, where we were riffing off each other, it was quite cool, because it's always fun to see how other designers think, because we don't all think the same way. We don't all approach the same kind of problems the same way either. I could give this to somebody, another designer right now. They wouldn't even approach this in anywhere near the same way that I approach it, and that's always quite fun to watch. To watch a different designer approach the same kind of puzzle that you're trying to solve in a completely different way that you would have never, ever even thought of doing. It's quite magical. Okay, so we've got some overlap on this one here, and that's going to be quite difficult to work with. I think I'm going to go down the route of deleting the letter, which is going to look a bit strange, because you're going to go, learn. You're not going to know what you're looking at, but, hey-ho. Learn. Oh, we've got some more up here as well. I think half, probably more than half, of the job of being a designer is being comfortable in the boredom of doing what I'm doing right now. Being comfortable in the boredom of producing things. Because what would typically happen if I was doing this for a client, what would typically happen is I'd get to the end of this and it might still not be right. I'm sorry, hold on. Just feeling my camera again. I get to the end of this and I'll look back at it, because I'm very close to this piece right now. I'm going to look back on this piece in a minute to see if I think it looks correct. And often when you're doing stuff like this, you actually look back on it and it doesn't look right. You zoom out of it and you go, that's not turned out how I wanted it to turn out, and you're kind of pissed off with it and you don't know where to take it from there. So you can spend a really, really, really long amount of time working on a piece, a design piece, much like I am doing right now. You can spend a really long amount of time working on a piece and then get to the end of it and go, oh shit, it's rubbish. It doesn't look like how I expected it to look at all. And then you've kind of got two choices then. You haven't got two choices. You've just got to start from the beginning again. And that's always hard to take. So you've got to be very comfortable with the boredom as a designer. You've got to be very comfortable with doing things that probably aren't going to look right. Doing things that might not turn out right. Like that one there that I've done, I've purposefully made it look a bit weird and a little bit strange. But if I had more time on this, and we've probably run over even an hour for this episode now on YouTube, if I had more time on this, I would probably tweak this slightly. But I'm going to leave it because I think it looks cool. I think it's good enough for Twitter, for the idea that I wanted to get. I already did this one earlier. Instant gratification creates instant dissatisfaction. Play the long game. Again, using the graph thing, I'm really enjoying the graphs in this thread. So this final one, society values the illusion of happiness over the real thing. Society values the illusion of wealth over the real thing. Society values the illusion of character over the real thing. Okay, so how do I do this one? I am going to finish it off with this kind of visual to tie it all back together. I always try to finish on a happy note, and we're going to finish on a happy note here. We're going to finish with this. So you and social media like this, and we're going to flip this upside down because you're sad, because you're sat consuming social media all day long, every day, like most of us are right now. Oops. Let's make that smaller, like that. You and social media. And this other one will be you and inner peace. Oh, isn't that a lovely sentiment to end this very, very long look at me making visuals for Stoic Empire on Twitter. That's it. I hope you really enjoyed watching that. I fully expect you haven't watched the full version of this. You'd be mad if you have done. Even if you've skipped to the end, even if you're watching me right now at 10 p.m. on a Sunday evening, say thank you to you. I'm going to say thank you so much for watching this. Let me know if you enjoyed this. Let me know if you enjoyed this chilled out session, me designing some stuff. Let me know if you want me to do more. And until next time, I'll see you soon.